The Soviets exploded their first nuclear weapon in 1949. China revealed plans for its own stealth bomber last year. But there are still some weapons the rest of the world doesn't have. In today's video, let's look at the top 10 super secret weapons ever made. But before we get into the video, here's a small reminder to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications for more updates. At number 10, XM-25 Weapon System. The XM-25 Counter-Defilade Target Engagement (CDTE) system, also known as the Punisher, an individual semi-automatic airburst system, is an airburst grenade launcher derived from the XM-29 OICW. It was fielded to soldiers serving in the war in Afghanistan and was projected to enter full-rate procurement in 2013. However, the Senate Armed Services Committee eliminated all funding for the XM-25 in its revision of the Pentagon's budget in June 2013. The XM-25 CDTE fires 25mm grenades that are set to explode in midair at or near the target. A laser rangefinder in the weapon is used to determine the distance to the target. The user can manually adjust the detonating distance by up to 10 feet or 3 meters, shorter or longer. The XM-25 automatically transmits the detonating distance to the grenade in the firing chamber. The grenade tracks the distance it has traveled by the number of spiral rotations after it's fired, then detonates at the proper distance to produce an airburst effect. These features makes the XM-25 more effective than traditional grenade launchers at the task of hitting targets that are behind cover or dug into the ground. Although it's eliminated, the name Punisher sounds cool. At number 9, Status 6 Oceanic Multipurpose System. In September of 2015, the Poseidon program became public for the first time when the Russian state television accidentally showed a picture of Poseidon, a nuclear-powered submarine drone. Whereas all nuclear weapons can kill thousands of people and may leave radiation poisoning in the environment for many years, Russia's new apocalypse tornado, known as Poseidon, is designed to maximize this effect. Status 6 Poseidon Torpedo is a robotic mini-submarine with a diameter of 1.6 meters and is essentially underwater intercontinental ballistic missile, or an ICBM. In 2015, Russia media sources gave detailed design specifications for Poseidon, capable of traveling a distance of 10,000 kilometers, reaching a speed of 100 knots, and a maximum depth of 1,000 meters, as Poseidon is expected to operate at a depth of 1,000 meters. Its interception is extremely difficult with the current technology. However, it seems that this UUV can operate under the Arctic ice pack, so it's much harder to detect and engage. Upon detonation, the idea is that we'll create a tsunami wave of up to 500 meters or 1,600 feet tall. Such a disaster can wipe out everything 1,500 kilometers or 930 miles deep inside the U.S. At number 8, the USS Zumwalt. The U.S. Navy's newest warship, the USS Zumwalt DDG-1000, is the largest and most technologically advanced surface combatant in the world, which can be run by a minimal crew. Zumwalt is the leadership of a class of next-generation multi-mission destroyers designed to strengthen naval power from the sea. The ship's design has provided a wide array of advancements. The composite superstructure significantly reduces cross-section and acoustic output, making the ship harder to detect by enemies at sea. DDG-1000 will employ active and passive sensors and a multifunction radar (MFR) capable of conducting area-air surveillance, including over land throughout the extremely difficult and cluttered sea-land interface. The goal for designing the ship was to use it in coastal waters, from where it can attack inland targets up to 72 miles away. The sharp angles of the hull confuse radar systems, so they think it's a much smaller ship, but this comes as a trade-off for maneuverability. At number 7, the S-400 Air Defense System. The development of the S-400 system began in the late 1980s, and the Russian Air Force announced the system in January of 1993. In 2007, the system was approved for service. The S-400 Triumph Air Defense System integrates a multifunction radar, autonomous detection, and target systems, anti-aircraft missile systems, launchers, and command and control center. It's capable of firing 3 types of missiles to create a layered defense. The system can engage all types of aerial targets, including aircraft, unmanned aerial vehicles, and ballistic and cruise missiles within the range of 400 kilometers at an altitude of up to 30 kilometers. The system can simultaneously engage 36 targets. The 55K6E command and control system of the S-400 Triumph is based on the Ural 532301 mobile command post vehicle. The command post is equipped with LCD consoles, to process the airspace surveillance data of the individual batteries. It controls and monitors long-range surveillance radar, tracks airborne threats, prioritizes the threats, and coordinates other batteries. The system is also capable of exchanging data with other defense systems, such as the SA-12, SA-23, and the S-300. Number 6. MAARS. The Modular Advanced Arm Robotic System, MAARS, is a robot that is being developed at Kinetic, a member of the Talon family, and it'll be the successor to the Armed Swords robot. If it were actually fielded, MAARS would complement the 12-person infantry squad that typically carries small arms, offering up a tracked vehicle that can zone in on targets with a mounted M240B machine gun, firing 7.62mm NATO rounds. It can carry around 400 rounds, or it can be reconfigured to tote a 40mm grenade launcher instead. The Kinetic-built robot only hits 7 miles per hour for a top speed and can run for 8 to 12 hours. Of course, it does have some limitations. It's not totally hands-free, since operators need a hand reloaded, and it could be stopped by rougher terrain. But MAARS is just one of many technologies the Corps is testing for its warfighting laboratory in an effort to field the Marine Corps of 2025. Number 5. The X-47B Combat Drone. The X-47B is an unmanned combat air system carrier, UCAS, that is being developed by Northrop Grumman for the U.S. Navy. The strike fighter-sized unmanned aircraft is currently in its demonstration phase. The airworthiness of the X-47B Unmanned Combat Air System demonstrator was developed at an estimated cost of $813 million. The tailless unmanned aircraft is 38.2 feet long and has a wingspan of 62.1 feet. The shape of the aircraft is designed for stealth or low observable relevant requirements. The weapons bay can carry 4,500 pounds of weapons. In April 2015, the X-47B once again made aviation history by successfully conducting the first ever autonomous aerial refueling, or AAR, of an unmanned aircraft. AAR unlocks the full potential of what unmanned surveillance, strike, and reconnaissance systems can do in support of the Navy. These historic demonstrations solidify the concept of future unmanned aircraft and can prove that the X-47 can perform standard missions like aerial refueling and operate seamlessly with manned aircraft as part of the Carrier Air Wing. Number 4. 60-kilowatt laser weapon. In 2015, Lockheed Martin took the wraps off of a 30-kilowatt mobile laser weapon that was powerful enough to take out a truck. Now the company will deliver a new 60-kilowatt weapon to the U.S. Army earlier this month to set a new record by generating a single 58-kilowatt beam. With all phases from demonstration to development completed, Lockheed will ship the combined fiber laser to the U.S. Army Space and Missile Defense Command. Similar to the previous laser, the new 60-kilowatt design uses a spectral beam combining technology to produce a weapon-grade laser that is destructive as well as portable and accurate. The fiber laser modules are made from an active gain medium consisting of an optical fiber doped with rare earth element, including erbium, ytterbium, neodymium, and others. The new laser will be mounted on a truck and likely be accompanied by a generator vehicle with plenty of diesel fuel. A firing position on high ground would allow it to engage targets at a maximum range before they could threaten friendly forces. The first platoon of 4 firing vehicles will enter service in 2024. Number 3. Super Tanks. PL-01 is a Polish light tank mock-up created by Obram with support from BAE Systems. Based on the Swedish CV90-120T light tank, the concept vehicle was first unveiled at the International Defense Industry Exhibition in Kielce on the 2nd of September 2013. Damaged add-on armor modules could easily be replaced in field conditions. Also, newer modules could be fitted once more advanced armor is available. It's claimed that front armor with add-on armor will provide protection against 30 or 40mm armor-piercing rounds. It was planned that all-round protection will be against 14.5mm armor-piercing rounds. It was planned that the hull will have a high level of protection against landmines and improvised explosive devices. This tank was designed to withstand explosive equivalents to 10 kilograms of TNT anywhere underneath the hull. It was planned that the active protection system would be integrated. The Polish-designed tank also utilizes a form of stealth technology. It had a thermal camouflage system to make it much harder to detect with standard thermal sensors. Reportedly, the entire tank could be covered with radio wave absorbent materials. The PL-01 was hyped up quite a bit from 2013 to 2015, but little has been said or reported on it since then. Perhaps the stealth technology was so good, it just disappeared completely. Number 2. Kinetic Energy Projectile. The US version of the Kinetic Energy Projectile weapon that's in testing is made from tungsten and launched at more than 3 times the speed of sound at over 2,000 miles an hour. It's basically a modified bullet designed to penetrate vehicle armor. The projectile can do this due to its lightweight outer shell that raises its muzzle velocity. After clearing the barrel, the shell falls off, leaving an aerodynamic projectile traveling at an incredibly high velocity. When it reaches its intended target, it breaks up into pieces of superheated metal fragments. The splinters can pierce most forms of conventional armor and devastate everything in its path. By combining this technology with chemical explosives, there wouldn't be much on the battlefield that would be able to survive. And at number 1, Electromagnetic Railgun. The US Navy's $500 million electromagnetic railgun, capable of slinging projectiles at hypersonic speeds. The Navy is instead pursuing an offshoot of the railgun, a hypervelocity projectile, and it can fire from existing gun systems. The Electromagnetic Railgun, EMRG, is a weapon that uses electricity instead of gunpowder to send projectiles downrange. Railguns use magnetic fields created by high electrical currents to accelerate a projectile to Mach 6 or 5,400 miles per hour. The velocity is sufficient to give the EMRG an effective range of 110 nautical miles or 126 miles on land. The Office of Naval Research began the development of the gun in 2005, and by 2012, a technology demonstrator was firing projectiles at Naval Surface Warfare Center Dahlgren Division in Virginia. In 2015, the program was apparently going so well the Navy announced plans to test the weapon from the USNS Trenton, an expeditionary fast transport. The US isn't the only country working on electromagnetic railguns. In 2018, a railgun prototype was sighted on the bow of the Chinese Navy landing craft, the Heiyang Changchan. Heiyang, also known as the Yangtze Sea Monster, is indeed sporting a railgun, but we don't know how effective the weapon is, how close to operational status it is, and if the railgun has ever even been fired. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like and let us know your views on these weapons in the comments below. And I'll see you in the next video.